hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again here on Amazon. If you guys are new to us here, welcome. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button. You'll see the either here in this corner or down below. You also see the books by our next guest. We're excited to welcome back our friend, master event planner, entrepreneur, and author Melissa Banks to our broadcast. We're going to talk to her not only about her plans for 2024 and making this a year to remember, but also how her book, Dream by Design, Inspirational Journal, can help you to be able to write prompts for yourself, to be able to make this a great year for you, as well as how you guys can stay connected with Melissa as well. Melissa, always a pleasure. Great to speak with you again.
Thank you, Cyrus Webb. Excited to be here as always.
Thank you. I appreciate that. LaDonna Marie is joining us over on LinkedIn. Hello to you. LaDonna, good to be able to see you. I should mention we are simulcasting our broadcast, even though we are here on Amazon. We are live also on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. So make sure you guys do like LaDonna. Make sure you guys say hello. So, Melissa, we are literally, this is crazy, over halfway through January 2024. So how is 2024 starting off for you?
You know what? I'm glad you said that because it seems like we were at Christmas and now we're in the middle of January. January just took off running with just a life of its own. I'm super excited about the new year and all the things that we have happening. But it has been like a whirlwind this first half of the month.
Yeah. I totally agree. I was telling someone today, I really believe 2024 is going to be like 2023, which was really a blur. I don't really remember most of 2023, to be quite honest. And I feel like this year is going to be the same way. But Melissa, to the point that I was making in my introduction, the reason why I think for you it is moving so quickly is because how you set yourself up in 2023. So I want to talk about that in relation to what you have for our audience here on Amazon, which is your book, Dream by Design, the Inspirational Journal, that kind of prompts them when it comes to what their goals are, what they want to do. How important was goal setting for you in 2023 for this year?
It was critical, right? Because if you don't set any goals, you don't know where you're going. So you're getting up every day and you're all over the place. So what I did by setting goals, it gives you a target and then setting some milestones as you're getting yourself set up so that you can have some achievable steps that you can celebrate that and then move to the next step. So as the year was approaching, I spent some time setting those goals and started taking the action to get to the big goal.
Yeah. And that definitely has paid off for you. So I want to go back because, Melissa, you wear a lot of hats, and we're going to be seeing a lot of those here in 2024. You have some new things you actually are bringing here to Amazon, including some new projects. I want to talk about what it's been like for you to be able to do what you love as a master event planner, as an entrepreneur. I should mention media personality as well. Her show, Dream by Design with Melissa Banks, is here on Amazon as well. A new episode literally just dropped. What has it been like for you to think about all the hats you wear, Melissa, and the different audiences you've been able to reach?
You know, my passion, Cyrus, and I'm just passionate about inspiring and encouraging women to believe in themselves and to move forward. So all the things that you see me do is with that in mind. So I'm excited to have the different areas that I can reach more women. And recently, in another episode, we talked about this. Even men have been attracted to it because it encourages and motivates them to want more and to do more. So that's why it's so important. You mentioned the podcast. The podcast is one of my favorite things that I absolutely enjoy because it has a platform where women can really share their stories. They can talk about the hard stuff, the stuff they had to push through to get to the wins, the stuff they had to push through to cause them to be able to believe in themselves. So it is definitely one of those tools that I believe pushes us to want more, be more, and do more. And when we hear women talk about that, it causes the rest of us to want to push through as well.
Yeah, such a great point. LaDonna says, yes, setting goals are important. Hello to you, Manswell. Manswell's joining us on Facebook. He says hello to you as well, Melissa, but he did speak to me first. Midnight Days Book Bar says hello as well. Midnight Days Book Bar, good to be able to see you too. You know, so to the point LaDonna made, I'm going to highlight that again. Setting goals are important. I want to talk about that for you. Has that always been easy for you to do, Melissa, in realizing that if it's something you really wanted, that you had to be able to set real goals to make it happen?
I think so, Cyrus. I think even 25 years ago when I began my entrepreneur journey, I began with goal setting in mind. I think for me, when I write down that goal, it gives me a pathway, if you will. It says, this is where I'm trying to get. And the more I've grown and matured, the more important those goals have become with my success. Because if I get up without goals, without action steps, then what am I going to do today? I'm just going to wing it all day. You don't get to where you want to be if you don't know where you want to be. So goals help me. And I'm a person who set big goals. You know, some people set goals that they can easily achieve, and that's what motivates them. For me, I have to set that big goal because that big goal makes me work harder, makes me more hungry, makes me move forward. Then I set some goals up under that are more achievable, and that keeps me going. I think I've always been that way.
Yeah, it's funny hearing you saying that. I've been told, and I have to agree, actually, I am a person who normally sets safe goals. There are goals that do require effort, but not a great deal of effort. Like, I have to do something to get it, you know. So it's funny hearing you say that because you're right. I'm one of those people who I don't set these over the moon goals, you know. But you know, typically the things I set out for end up being bigger than what I could have imagined anyway. But you said something that was really interesting because this is something I find most people do not do, and it ties actually into Melissa's book. We have it highlighted in the Carousel Dream by Design Inspirational Journal. You said that you set the big goal, Melissa, nothing wrong with that, but then you set goals underneath that. How important has it been for you to celebrate all of them? Because I think for a lot of people, and we've talked about this on other platforms before, Melissa, a lot of people, if they don't hit the big goal, even if they did hit the smaller ones underneath, they still consider themselves a failure. They still say that, you know, they don't give themselves credit. Instead of patting themselves on the back, they beat themselves up. How important has it been for you to recognize and acknowledge the little goals underneath the big one?
It's been critical, right? Because just for the reason that you said, so if you set this big goal, and even if you achieve 10 smaller things but you didn't hit that one, if you don't have the right mindset, first of all, if you don't celebrate those steps that get you there, you feel like, dang, I didn't get it. One of the things that I had to learn, and it was a learning process, is I set that big goal, and then I have some action steps, those action items that will get me to it. And I celebrate along the way. The celebrations is what keeps you going. It keeps you pushing. And even if you didn't quite get to that goal, you know you can move the date, you can move it forward, but you know that you can see where you achieved all of these other things. I think we're just so hard on ourselves often that if we don't get the million, which was the goal for the year, that 500,000 that we got, we minimize that instead of celebrating that. So that's all about what you're pouring into your mind. It's all about your action items. It's all about what work that you put in, and just showing yourself some grace, right? If you got up every day and you put the work in, and you didn't quite make it to that big goal, don't be so hard on yourself. So what? I did all of this, even though I didn't reach that, but I'm still here, so I can still make it to that big goal.
Yeah, such a great point. Ricardo, hello to you. Good to be able to see you over on the Facebook side. Midnight East Book Bar says, I needed to hear that. It's such a great reminder, I think, for us, because I see it too often that, Melissa, and I know you do too in your circle, that people don't give themselves credit for every win. It doesn't have to be this big thing. And I think society has kind of made us think that too. If you don't hit this big thing, you're a failure. You know, why did you do that? You know, you should have known you couldn't. Instead of giving yourself credit for what you did, Manswell says, amen, action items. So I want to talk about a Dream by Design Inspirational Journal. I do have the devotional in here as well in the carousel, Melissa, but I want to talk about the Inspirational Journal. What is it that led you to be able to compile this and to put it out for people to use?
You know, one of the things in the devotionals, we gave some prompts, right? We gave some prompts that you can read that can inspire you. But one of the things in my journey to inspire and encourage others, I wanted to also make sure that they were able to not only have a clear prompt, but also have a clear action items to make them move forward. So if you're just not doing anything, it's the action that propels you, right? So I wanted to put all that together where not only am I giving you some words that you can think about, repeat in your head, read over and over again, but it also gives you a place to set that goal. And it can just be that goal for the week. It can be that one thing I'm focusing on all week that I want to make happen. But then you can't stop right there. It goes back to the action. And it also gives you a place to write those actions. And to me, that's the key, is to see the success, see something that you actually achieved as you were getting to that goal and then getting to that big goal. And when you can see that growth, it keeps you moving forward and it gives you that push that you need to continue the journey.
Yeah. I want to say, for those who are just tuning in, welcome. You're watching Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live, but we also are simulcasting on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Our guest is Melissa Banks. She's a master event planner, entrepreneur, media personality, and author. I'm probably missing something, but she is the author of the book Dream by Design Inspirational Journal. You guys see it right here on Amazon. We have it highlighted in the carousel. You can get it either the Kindle edition for $3.99, or you can get the paperback edition as well. I'm just going to pick one of the prompts that you have. Hey, Dolores, good to be able to see you, fellow Mississippian. Also enjoying this weather probably as well. Dolores, good to be able to see you. I'm just going to pick one of these prompts, Melissa, and we talk about it. I turned to prompt number 27, and this is what you wrote. When it doesn't look like it's working, keep going. Keep doing the work and make the changes necessary. Whatever you do, just don't quit. What does that message mean for Melissa Banks? You wrote it for the audience, but what does that message mean to you when you hear it?
You know what? This is such a great one to pick, because this is also where so many of us stop. And it's the key for me to know that even if it's not looking good today, even if I'm putting in the work, I'm checking off some stuff, but it's not happening. If we focus on what's not happening, it seems overwhelming. It seems hard. You start asking yourself, why am I still going? Why do I need to keep going? I'm not making the steps. And for me, because I've been at this for 25 years and it wasn't always moving. There are times where nothing is moving. But the key is, first of all, in my mind, I talk about this all the time, Cyrus, everything starts in here. So what you feed in here, and especially in those moments that you're not seeing stuff happening, is what you're feeding in your mind, which is why the prompts become so important, because you have to replace that negative thought, that thought of nothing is happening, I'm working hard, I may as well quit. When you take that out of the equation, you make up your mind that quitting is not an option, and you replace those thoughts with positive thoughts that keep you moving. And I assure you that if you don't stop in that place, if you don't just focus on that, you continue, even that day, you write it down, a goal, and your goal for that day may be simply to keep moving. That's the goal for that day. When you read that, write down 2 things that you're going to do today that's going to keep you moving. And if you keep moving, you will get to where you're supposed to be. And that's been critical for me.
Karen Baum says, whoa, I needed that. And Dolores also says, keep going as well. So I want to stay with this for a second, because for those who don't know about the layout of Melissa's book, Dream by Design Inspirational Journal there. So what she does, she gives you these 52 prompts, of course, one for each week. But you also are able to get these opportunities. That is right, Melissa? 52. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And that's then right. You're able to write what your goal is and what you're going to do toward that goal. I mean, the wording is, what is my goal? What am I going to do to make it happen? So for yourself, Melissa, talk to us about that, because for a lot of people, and of course, studies show, and of course, I'm all about bucking statistics, but statistics show that by February the 1st, most people have already forgotten their New Year's resolution or given up on it. Okay. So what do you say to yourself to make sure you don't give up on yourself as you're going from day to day?
Well, one of the things I had to learn with setting goals is making a list of how I'm going to get there. So in the past, I might set a big goal at the beginning of the year. I want to do whatever, and I haven't even thought about how it's going to happen. So setting the goal is great and it's what you need. But if you miss the second component, which is how am I going to make it happen, So if my goal for the week is to read 3 books, and I don't set aside, I'm going to read 1 book on Monday, I'm going to read 5 chapters on Tuesday. If I don't map out the plan, at the end of the week, it's going to be here and I haven't read anything because I haven't moved to action. And that was the learning process for me in setting goals and taking action. So what happens to people, and I was probably one of those people a long time ago, I hadn't set resolutions in a long time, but I was probably one of those, the resolution is easy. I'm going to lose 50 pounds this year, but I'm not going to change the way I eat. I'm not going to exercise more. My exercise bike is still in the back room covered in stuff. But if I say I'm going to lose 10 pounds this week, and this is what I'm going to do that, I'm going to change the way I eat. I'm going to eat less starchy food or whatever. Then you can begin to see the results. So the setting the steps to achieving the goal is critical to your success to keep you from staying in that place.
Love that. And I think it's such a great thing. Hello to you. Good to be able to see you as well, joining us on Facebook. I think that is the big thing. Tamika's joining us as well. Hey, Tamika, a fellow Amazon live streamer and also best-selling author. Tamika said, that's good. How am I going to make it happen? She says. I think that's it. I think, and here's what I always say to people. I mean, goals are great. They are great. But what always surprises me, Melissa, is people don't have a plan. It's like saying, I want to have $1 million. Well, how are you going to do that? Oh, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I just want to, there's no idea of what I'm going. I guess they think just putting it out there, which words are powerful, is enough. But have you always known that the action was required? Because especially as a person of faith, I mean, we both know that, I mean, of course, with faith, all things are possible. But we also are told that faith without works is dead. Right. How important has it been for you, Melissa, as a person of faith, to make sure you're putting in the work that's necessary to get to the different goals that you set?
It's how I breathe. It's critical, right? Because if I just say, I got faith and God is going to do it, I'm going to sit right here and do nothing, then nothing is going to happen. So I'm one of those people that I'll set goals, but I'm going to get up every single day trying to figure out a way to move forward, even during those times like we just talked about, when it seems that nothing is happening. It seems that I'm just working and nothing has happened. I keep working. I keep making my list. Every week I go into the week with a new list. Every day I have a list I can focus on. And for me, I celebrate every day because I look back at my daily list, and when I see that pink highlight and it's all going down that page, the feeling, Cyrus. I mean, you look at your list and say, wow, I made a lot happen today, because I believe that you have to make some stuff happen to get to where you want to be. One of the examples I often use, Cyrus, is my mother makes homemade cakes, and we love her homemade cakes. We're over there every week to get some of her cakes. But if she just took all of her ingredients out and put them on the counter, we're going to show up on Friday morning for cake, and we're not going to have any because she didn't take the action to make it into a cake. So it all comes down to what you actually do, and celebrate that. And, it doesn't have to be a trip. It doesn't have to be a $50 meal. It can be, one of my celebrations is I love coffee with peppermint in it. And I like to sit down and just drink a whole cup of coffee and not be working or reading social media or doing anything else, just having that cup of coffee. That's a celebration. We have to learn that the small celebrations, even the small steps, will get us to the big steps of where we want to be.
Well, Donna says that's good. Now, I want y'all to hear what Melissa just said now, but she will poo-poo on me when I say I'm just taking a little time. She said, oh, no, you need to do something. If I just say I'm going to do that, then it's a problem. But she just said she can just have coffee and with peppermint, and that's fine. I say, I'm just going to sit here and do this. And she says, that's not enough. You need to do something else. I just wanted to throw that in there for the record. But his book bar says powerful cake analogy. Look, I'm just keeping it real around here. I take a nap and I get dogged. But you can have coffee and peppermint. But anyway, I digress. Melissa, so for our audience out there, yes, who are ready to take action, they're ready for something to happen for themselves. As we started off this conversation, the time always gets away from us when we get together. But it's always good. I give Melissa a hard time because somebody has to. She gets to just run over people, so I have to be that that, that person who puts the gauntlet down. But we started off this conversation, Melissa, talking about we're over halfway through the first month of 2024. What would you say to our audience about the importance of starting today and not only deciding what they want, but also the plan to get there?
That's it. First of all, make up your mind, the power of a made up mind. Make up your mind, first of all, that quitting is not an option. Make that decision today, right now, this moment. And then take a minute, take a moment and just sit down and look at your goals and what you want to achieve in the next 30 days, in the next 60 days, and make some steps. What is it going to take for me to get to that goal? And every day, whether it's a pink highlight like I use, or a yellow one, or a notepad, or you one of those people that have to have a special, beautiful pad to write the things down in, do that. And then highlight every single thing you do that's going to get you to that. And take some action on your own. Make sure that you're pouring positive insight into your mind, because when you control your mind, you control your life. If you move your mind forward, your life moves forward as well. So make sure that you're feeding yourself with information, listening to people that push you, reading something that reminds you of who you are and what you can be, grabbing your inspirational journal and rereading the prompts as many times as you need to continue to feed your mind. And then make those lists and take action toward where you want to be.
What about the noise, Melissa? Because I think, this year already, it's already started. I mean, it surprises me, for one, how so many people get excited about negativity, and people, having hardships and going through a valley in their lives. But then, of course, we can be drawn into that as well. And that's another thing that can get us distracted. How important is it for us to watch what we're associating with online and offline when it comes to our goals, and making sure that the people we're associating with online and offline are in line with where we want to go and who we want to be, I should say, as well?
I always say, dominate the distraction. You have the power, even if it's family, if it's friends in your life, you have the power as to how much you allow them to insert into your mind. If you have that family member that every time you talk to them is negative, they find in fault, they're critical, then that's a family member that you love, but you limit how much time you talk to them and when you talk to them. Online social media, you have the power. Unfollow, that's why it's there. Snooze, that's why it's there. Block, that's why it's there. You have to control what you allow into your space, what you allow into your mind, because we all know negative and something bad grows way faster than the positive and something that pours good into your life. So you have to control what goes into your mind. One of the things I always say, when those negative things come toward you, or you're thinking them on your own, you get into a negative space, change the channel and pour positive quotes, pour something in there that encourages you and get you right back on focus, and cloud out all of that negative stuff. Talk to that friend that can push you, can motivate you. Even without knowing what you're going through, that's what they're going to do. You have the power of what you allow into your mind.
Yeah, such a great thing. I'm typing you guys a note on the Amazon side there. This is why I think, Melissa, the inspirational journal is great for people to start off the year with, because it allows them to be able to really make a plan for themselves, which is always exciting. And I think, too, to be able to do, as we talked about here, to celebrate those small wins. It's such an important thing. Again, everyone, master event planner, entrepreneur, media personality, author Melissa Banks has been with us, talking with us not only, of course, about what we can do to be able to jumpstart our years. We're now going through the rest of this year, but also how her inspirational journal can be able to help. Again, it's available in paperback as well as a Kindle edition. You guys can see it there. And she designed the cover as well. A really nice cover, Melissa. Very good conversation with you, Melissa. I always enjoy talking with you.
Always enjoy and exciting to talk to you.
How can our viewers stay connected with you, Melissa?
But for real, it's always a pleasure. We have such a good time, and it's always so inspirational to have these conversations. You can always stay connected to me by going to themelissabanks.com, and you see all of our links. You see places to listen to the show. You see the link to the Amazon to order the book. You see everything that we do, even our event planning and our social media platforms. Everything is right there at themelissabanks.com.
All right, Melissa, congratulations to you. I know we have many more conversations to come. Melissa has a lot of great projects that are coming here to Amazon really soon. We're excited about that and definitely looking forward to our next chat together, Melissa.
Thank you again for having me.
I'm glad to do it. And we thank you, our viewers, for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, I'm Cyrus Webb, and thank you so much for being with us. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.